Oh yes, here it is.
Heretic, Shadow of the Serpent Riders by Raven Software.
I remember this one, and you know it's true, I still play it to this day. I love the art style, the overall look of the game. I love the monsters. I love the way the skeleton warriors screech as they come tumbling down in a pool of green slime. And the music! I don't even know how to touch on that stuff. It's one of my favorite gaming soundtracks. Just wonderful. Really sets the dark tone and gritty atmosphere and brings to life this dusty, dirty, decrepit corpse of a fantasy world that this game is buried inside. For this is the world of Parthoris, the world of Heretic, a world cursed by wizards and undead fiends. Magical terrors known as the Serpent Riders have invaded the land with the intent of taking over. In fact, these evil sorcerers are almost successful in enslaving the denizens of the old elven world. But one brave fellow rises up to the challenge of taking on these dastardly beings, and that is you, the elf warrior Corvus. As Corvus the elf, you must make a stand and drive those wretched undead back into their graves. Oh yes, it's exciting stuff. At its heart, the game is a retexture of Doom. Built using the actual Doom engine by ID or id Software, it plays much like Doom, except instead of guns, you get wands and crossbows. And instead of spooky space stations, you have massive castles and graveyards. But me personally, I loved Heretic's Dungeons and Dragon's Sword and Sorcery twist on the Doom-style gameplay. I thought it worked well. I found the graveyards to be dark and brooding and menacing. I remember that evil laughter sound effect that would play in the background, presumably Desperil, the Serpent Rider and main antagonist in the game, laughing at my chaotic gameplay as I run around shooting everything that moves. And I love the beastery. Oh yeah, the cackling gargoyles, the screaming iron leech, and those undead warriors that you could always hear in the distance, wailing in despair. My favorite monster was the Disciple of Desperil. Oh yes, I always found those guys very sinister and annoying and horrible. And they always turned up at the worst time, clipping through walls and chasing you about and throwing purple acid bombs at you. Oh, those pesky swines, I remember them well. According to the internet, the Disciples of Desperil are enemies from Heretic. They are dark wizards with black robes and faceless hoods. They whisper incantations. These are the phrases that they say. Wizit and wizat. Which, if you play backwards, actually says, destroy the heretic and succumb to us, heretic. Though I'll be honest with you, it doesn't really sound like that, but, well, whatever. I always found them so sinister, these loathsome wizards, with their horrible chanting as they floated around the walls of some defunct fortress. I've got plenty of good memories blasting those wretched beings into oblivion. It was also fun using the Morphovium and turning them into chickens, because you could do that. Oh yes, the Morphovium was one among a number of items you could pick up along the way to help you in your battles with the damned. Other items include the Shadow Sphere, that turns you into a ghost, the Ring of Invincibility, a handy thing to keep you around and stop you from dying, and the Wings of Wrath that let you fly so high. But I found that the Wings of Wrath never really worked properly. Not for me, it didn't, and I often got stuck in walls or in the ceiling, but it was a good idea, I suppose, and the developers tried. Oh, yes, they tried. Then there is the Bag of Holding, full of ammo, and then the Chaos Device, which sends you back to the beginning of the level. All of it very good stuff indeed. There are also magical potions that heal you, and books of power that can be used to rip and rend the relentless hordes of doom that have overtaken the elven realm. Along with these items, you have access to a very fine arsenal of mythical weapons of ancient strength. Among these are my favorite, the ethereal crossbow and the elven wand. I must admit, I use the bow the most in the game. I like the gauntlets of the necromancer, a melee weapon that requires no ammo. You get them quite early in the game, on the first episode in fact. And I don't know, I just enjoyed electrocuting the enemies. It's okay on the early foes, but not quite so good against later enemies. Then there is the dragon claw. Not a bad weapon indeed. Then we have the fire mace, which drops deadly bombs to trip up your enemies. Beside that, there is the fiendish hell staff and the mighty phoenix rod. If you know Doom, then one is a remake of the plasma rifle. The other is basically it's the rocket. But in keeping with the medieval theme, both weapons release a stream of deadly spiritual power that will consume your dreaded ethereal enemies in one go. Then last of all, there is the staff, which I confess I never used and still don't use to this day. Really, honestly, I have never used it, not once. It's a weak melee weapon and you get it at the beginning and you use it when your elven wand runs out of juice. Really, please try to avoid using the staff. It's a lump of wood with no magical power, and you will soon learn that wood isn't much good against the forces of the undead. I mean, what use is wood against a ghost? What are you going to do when you meet an undead warrior? Poke it to death? You can try, if you are brave or mad, and I assure you, you will fail. No, because it's a stick, and the most useless weapon I have seen in any game. Heretic originally came packed with 3 episodes, much like Doom before it. Each episode contains a bevy of maps leading you through crypts, dungeons, ruined towns, and haunted moors. And the road to defeating Disparol, who waits in his dome, surrounded by deadly power and cursed magic. Heretic was later re-released with 2 additional episodes, preceding the destruction of Disparol, the Ossuary and the Stagnant Demesnes. The former containing one of the evilest maps in the world, episode 4, map 1, the Catafalique. I hope I pronounced that right. I probably didn't, sorry about that. Where you get attacked from every side by everything at once, with hardly any weapons to defend yourself. Nice stuff. No, not really, it was flipping awful. I don't know what it is about Heretic that I like so much. I think it's nostalgia. I get these cozy memories of playing the game when I was a kid. I remember playing it in wintertime, next to my warm radiator in my room, lights off, all dark, Heretic raging on the screen, that music flowing in the background. When I play Heretic today, those memories always come rushing back to me. I remember playing the shareware version that was bundled with Doom, and then going out and buying the full version afterwards. You know, I lost the box to the game. I have no idea where it is, and this annoys me to no end. I've got the box for the sequel, Hexen, but not Heretic. So strange, I can't believe I would lose something like that, but still, never mind. So long as I can still play the game, that is all that matters. This is one game that I would love to see get an official remaster, and I mean the graphics freshened up, and heck, maybe even some new maps thrown into the chaotic mix. Why not? Let's do it. Let's have some new maps, please. Raven Software, if you're still out there, just remaster Heretic already. There are a few modern retakes on the Heretic formula out there. Hands of Necromancy is one that I enjoy playing, and Arthurian Legend. That one's not bad either. But none of them light that candle of joy inside me in the way that Heretic did, and still does. I don't know if it's the music, the beastry, its raw, visceral, dark, medieval atmosphere, or just pure nostalgia. But I genuinely feel there is a magic about this game. It's not too maze-like or puzzle-ridden like its spiritual sequel, Hexen. It's just the right balance for me. going around those forgotten, rotten castles with my plasma crossbow, taking out skeleton warriors and insane chanting wizards, and never gets old for this retro gamer speaking right now. Well, I think that's enough talk. Time to take up my elven wand and get back into the swing of it. Good luck out there.